Good afternoon, everyone. An hour for me to present my result of my research with the title of Analysis of Black Soybean Growth Under Drought Stress. I am a student in Agricultural Science in Agriculture Faculty of UNS. There are table of content or outline for my presentation today. First is introduction, the second is material and method, and then result and discussion. The fourth is conclusion, and the last is acknowledgement. Okay, thank you. Yes. For the first part is introduction. Soybean, as we know, is the king of bean, our food commodity with great potential for continued development in worldwide, especially in Indonesia. The great potential for soybean is because the availability of inexpensive protein and fat, a natural source of nitrogen, as well as benefit for other important byproducts such as vegetable oil, essential oil, wax, and paint. In the world, there are two kinds of soybean that we know. The first is yellow soybean and the second is black soybean. The yellow soybean are commonly used in society as ingredients for making tofu, tempeh, soy milk, and other products, while utilization of black soybean is still rarely explored. The previous study know that black soybean have superior content than yellow soybean, such as high protein, high anthocyanin, and very good antioxidant effect, as well as being anti-obesity too. The significance of black soybean, as mentioned before, will not have a substantial impact if the cultivation practices of black soybean are not carried out according to the growth characteristic of black soybean. Climate change presents a unique challenge. Climate change increases the area affected by low watering availability, which directly impacts soybean cultivation practices. This is because soybean production heavily relies on optimal rainfall. Low water availability triggers negative effects such as a hindered photosynthesis, respiration, and nutrition absorption. And then part for material and method. This research has been conducted from January 2024 until March. The research was conducted in greenhouse at Faculty of Agriculture and Husbandry in Boyolali University. The research design is structured factorially, consists of two factors, with factor 1 is 5 varieties of black soybeans, consists of Datam 1, 2, 3, 4, and Malika. Varieties Datam 1, 2, 3, 4 released by Agriculture Ministry. Malika is released by Gadjah Mada University. The second factor is drought stress level. There are 100% of field capacity, 75% of field capacity, 50% of field capacity, and 25% of field capacity. The data obtained were analyzed using analysis of variance at 5% significant level, and if there were significant differences, it was followed by Duncan multiple tests at 5% significant level. To determine the relationship between observed variable, correlation was conducted. Result and discussion. There are 7 parameters. First is plant height. The second is number of leaves. The third is leaf area. The fourth is net assimilation rate. The fifth is relative growth rate. The sixth is dry weight biomass, and the last is number of nodules. This is the resume of ANOVA result. From the result of ANOVA, it is known that significant effect occurs in plant height, start from 40 days after plant until 35 days after plant. For leaf area, its significance from 40 days after plant until 21 days after plant. Uh, number of leaves is non-significant. Dry weight biomass is the same for leaf area. It's significant from 40 days after plant until 20 days after plant. Relative growth rate and net assimilation rate, both of them are not significant. Number of nodules is significant in the different level of drought stress. Varieties Datum 1 has the highest plant height in 40 days after plant until 20 days after plant, but the Datum 2 has the highest plant height in 28 days after plant until 30 days after plant. The drought levels with 25% of field capacity has the lowest high plant height in 35 days after plant. The number of leaves highest in Datum 2 varieties in 40 days after plant until 21 days after plant. The lowest leaf area has from Malika varieties, and the highest get from varieties Datum 4. The net assimilation rate and relative growth rate, both of them are non-significant difference, but Datum 1 has the trend, has the net assimilation rate and relative growth rate higher than other varieties. The number of nodules highest when varieties in control 100% get watering, and the lowest number of nodules occurs in the 25% of field capacity. The correlation, the highest correlation occurs between parameter relative growth rate and net assimilation rate and dry weight biomass and leaf area. With R value is from 0.856 until 0.896. But the correlation between dry weight biomass and net assimilation rate and dry weight biomass with relative growth rate and total nodule with plant height has the weak correlation, with R value under 0.5. The conclusion for my research are there was no interaction between varieties and drought levels on all growth parameters. Varieties had a significant effect on leaf area and dry weight biomass at 40 days after plant until 21 days after plant. Drought stress reduced the number of nodules formed in the root zone. A strong positive correlation occurred between dry weight biomass parameter with leaf area and relative growth rate with net assimilation rate, with R value ranging from 0.81 to 0.99. For acknowledgement, the author would like to express gratitude and appreciation to the Higher Education Financing Agency, BPPT, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, Republic of Indonesia. The second is for Education Fund Management Institution, LPDP, of the Ministry of Finance of Indonesia for granting the Indonesian Education Scholarship PPE to the first author to complete their studies. Thank you.